How to relieve back pain using the Alexander technique, part 3. Today's lesson is called Your Head and Neck Are the Keystone of Your Body. My name is Joseph Arnold. I'm a violinist, Alexander technique, and director of the Soul Force Arts Institute. And today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the most powerful insights from the Alexander technique that can help you relieve the root cause of your back pain, especially when you're doing movements like bending down, getting in and out of a chair, looking under a cupboard, getting in and out of your car. We do these kind of bending movements all day long, and most people get way more tight, especially in the head and neck, than they need to in order to do these things. And now the reason that's important is that your head and neck, even though they might seem kind of far away from your low back, if that's where you have your pain, are intimately connected, directly connected. Because, you see, your body is a web. So this is a tensegrity device. So I built this myself. I'm not the first person to have built these, though. So tensegrity is a mashup word coined by Buckminster Fuller, who wanted to describe how animals are structured and how that's different than houses. You see, in a house, things are stacked one on top of another, and so there's the one direction of compression. But here, the struts and the elastic form a web, and so there's many directions of compression and within the structure. And it's also very movable. When one part moves, everything moves. Your body is the same way. When your neck gets tight, your low back gets tight, and vice versa. But the reason that this is so important to consider is that most people tend to focus only on the area of pain and try to do something in there. You'll notice this if you go to a physical therapist or doctors. These are very well-meaning people, but the way that we teach anatomy is to focus on the parts. And so the people, many healthcare providers, focus on the part that hurts. And of course that's really useful, in an emergency situation, like if you get an arrow stuck in you, or you get a laceration or something, you focus on the part that hurts. But for something like chronic back pain, unless there is some kind of direct injury, then the problem is not in the area that it hurts. It's somewhere else in your body that you're getting tight and you don't even realize it. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you next is a self-inquiry, sort of a body inquiry. We're going to explore the movement of getting in and out of the chair, and it's probably something you do hundreds of times every day. You don't even think about it, but the way that most people do it, like 99.999% people, at least in Western societies, where they get really tense right in the middle of that movement, and then they bring that tension with them to whatever they do next. This is also going to be really useful for times when you're bending down to pick up something off the floor, and that's a time when a lot of people get back spasms, so this will be really helpful for those moments as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is find where your head rotates over your spine. A lot of people think that the head meets the spine like somewhere back here, but that's only where you feel your spine. The actual joint of where the skull meets the spine is way up here. So put a finger on your nose, put a finger right in front of your ear, they do a little nod, and imagine two laser beams meeting in the middle. That's where your top joint is, where the skull meets the spine. And the reason that this is so important to get is because when your top joint is tight, when it's going the wrong direction, then the rest of your body is going to suffer. It's just like if you're riding a horse, what do you do to get the horse to go? You let the horse's head go this way, so it's rotating forward over the top joint. Whereas if you want to get the horse to stop, you pull the horse's head back, it goes like this. It rotates backwards, right? So the same thing is true of you. When your head rotates more forwards, then your body's going to get freer. When your head rotates more backwards like this, your body's going to get tighter. I bet you can notice that even just now. So, and why don't you write down what you notice in the comments below. When you let your head rotate, and this is different than your head going out like this, when you let your head rotate, what happens to the rest of your body? And then the operative word there is let, because if you force your body your head to rotate forward, you're just going to get tighter. So when you let it go forward, does your neck get tighter or freer. And you can even put your hand back there to feel. And when your head rotates backwards like this, does your neck get tighter or freer? All right. And you might also notice that going back like this, your neck, not only does your neck get tight, but the rest of your back gets tight. Because again, your whole body is a web. So the answer, or rather, let's do an experiment. So I want you to stand with your hand on the back of your neck, and I want you to notice what happens in the middle of standing, especially in the moment where your butt leaves the chair. Does your neck get tighter or freer? Okay, here we go. So standing up, and your butt leaves the chair, does your neck get tighter or freer? Right, and the same thing on the way down. Right before your butt hits the chair, does your neck get tighter or freer? Okay, so if it's getting tighter, it's probably because you're pulling on the horse's reins. So let's do the opposite. When you stand up, you're going to let go of the horse's reins. This is going to mean that your head goes way further forward over your knees than you're probably used to, and your neck is going to stay soft the entire time. So see if you can stand up in a way where your head does not get tight, where your neck does not get tight. And again, it's a rotating forward and your head going way out over your knees. So here we go. So way, way, way forward, way, 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 way forward, especially in that moment of your butt leaving the chair. And the same thing on the way down. Head forward, hips back, especially in that moment when your butt reaches the chair again. Okay, so I would recommend that you practice that movement with your hand on the back of your neck so you can accurately sense what's going on. Do that every day for a week. And also do it in other activities, like when you're picking something up. You could even try that right now by standing by your chair and leaning over and picking up your chair, or picking up a pencil off your chair. It's the same exact movement. So you're just going to notice what happens with your horse. Are you pulling on the reins while you're moving? Well, then everything's going to be harder, and your back's just going to hurt more over time. So this is a small intervention, but considering how many times you get up and down from the chair, how many times you bend to pick something up off the floor, or you look at a cupboard, or you get in your car, or countless other activities, then if your neck is tight while you're doing this, you're just putting excess strain on your body, and your back's going to feel more painful, right? But then the opposite is true. If you bring a little bit of ease to each of these moments, then gradually with time, your back's going to feel a lot better. Okay, well, I hope you found that helpful. Stay tuned for the next few videos in my back pain series. I'm going to be sharing with you some more really unique insights, things you're not going to find other places. These insights come from the Alexander technique, and I've used them in my own life. I use them every day, and this is why, like, when my sister goes to give me a shoulder rub, she says, "Oh, you're so relaxed." Like, yeah, I've been studying this stuff for a long time. Okay, and some shameless or joyful self-promotion here. So please do go to soulforcearts.com, sign up for my newsletter where you'll get a monthly digest of my videos and blog posts and other unique insights. And please do join my Soulforce Arts community if you're an artist and you want to discover your artistic purpose, create more freely, and learn more things like this, and apply them to your artistic practices, and then thereby be able to make art that really matters. Please do, again, go to soulforcearts.com/community and check it out. I'd love to see you there. Okay, I'll see you next time.